Newton.
It isn't just RAS commercialization.
Oh, yes,
It isn't just blatant use of puppies to try to get viewership for no compensation.
yes, it is.
It isn't pet slavery.
Yes, it is. Oh, look at it. Wait. It's pet slavery.
It's time that you paid back a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, can you pick him up? Okay. All right. So, Newton, it's 9 o'clock. Come on up. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, kaboom. And then I'll put you down. Okay, just say good morning to everybody. Mommy's here still. What?
Have a good show.
Thank you, honey. I love you. Let's say good morning to everybody, okay? Here, there's the camera. There's the camera. He doesn't care where the camera is, he said. Okay. I don't know where my hair is. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone, on this Friday morning, September 6th. How is everyone? It's nice to have you here. Look who I have. I have Newton again. Newton is joining us. Newton, say hello to everybody. Hi. Yeah, what are you looking at? Come look here. How about a kiss? How about a morning kiss? So good morning, smart starters. Good to see you here. Let me see who we have. Let's see. Hey, Deborah. Nice to see you again. Hey, Jamie. How are you? Anne, good to see you. Anne, I just changed the time to 8 o'clock, if that's okay, for my workshop, my artist workshop group tonight. Or I'm hoping to meet with them, and I'm trying to get 15 people all over the country that we can all meet at one time. We meet live on Facebook, but it's a private group. So hi, Clyde. How are you? Jean, good morning. Good to see everybody. So I'm going to put Newton down because I'm not sure he even likes. Hey, Charles. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Do you want to wish everybody a great day? Yeah, great day for everybody. Hey, Stephen. Nice to see you here. So last time, oh, he's being so good, so I'm going to keep him for a minute. So when we met 2 days ago, we talked about, artists really doing their work. Even if you don't have a studio, just do it, do something, draw on a matchbook. I don't care what it is. So one of our viewers, KiP Walker, actually sent me some images from that day. She said she was inspired. Hey, Christine. She said she was inspired by the show and decided to she was out and looking around and thinking in her artist eye and mind, and took some pictures and sent them to me. And okay, now I'm going to put you down, okay? I love you. Okay. And so I used that as a way, hey, Francie, I used that as a way of curating today, because I do think it's really so important that artists have to work. They must do their work. And when artists don't do their work, I think it's detrimental to them and to everybody else around them. And when they do their work, it's inspiring us all. So I'm going to show you a picture that KiP sent, and then how I curated from this, because it really did inspire me. So KiP was out and about walking, and she saw this serpent or snake, or I'm not even sure, whatever it is, right? Christine would probably know better than I, because she knows all things animal and spiritual. Yeah. And so from here, I really started to look at the picture and really started to think about the picture, and kind of just kept it in my mind's eye yesterday. I had a lot of meetings. I had a lot of stuff, life, work, life, right? In our heads. And so what I loved about this, I love the tracks on the road, on the dirt road, and then how the snake kind of Jean, do you want to weigh in on what this is? Maybe also how the snake kind of also mimics the tracks on the road, from the tire tracks, the scales of its body, right? I loved that. I thought that was so interesting, and the way she captured that. And it was a way for her to just, hey, Jacob, how are you? I hope you got to see Newton. And I just loved that she wasn't able to get into her studio, or she was out and took a walk, and this is what she did. And she took some other photos too of flowers and things, but this really captured my attention. The flowers did in another way, but that could be another show. But this captured my attention, thinking about serpents in art history. And so with that, my friends, I start with one of my favorites, the Laocoon group. And this piece, is one of these repeating themes in art history. And I'll show you a few of them that it becomes so important. Hey, Paul, great to see you here. Yeah. Both serpent and snake, Christine says, snake, mythic shedding, transformation, earth grounding, shedding old. I'm so glad you said that, Christine, because wait, I'm going to show you a piece that speaks specifically of that notion that you're talking about, and it's an unlikely piece. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Jacob Snake probably thought it was another kind of, yeah. So let me read you a little bit about the Laocoon group, because this is one of those major pieces in art history that, as I was changing careers and going back to school, I had been working on the soap opera Another World. I had done a lot of commercials, a lot of print work. I was a working actor, and it wasn't my calling. I always wanted to teach, and I didn't even know that I wanted to be in the art world. But having sitting in an art history 101 course, it immediately changed the trajectory of my life. Never went back to acting. And never would go back for the sake of humanity. I'm kidding. And this was one of those pieces. I mean, there were so many, but this is one of them. So anyway, hi, Mom. Phyllis is here. Yeah, Jacob, I know about that, right? The history of martial arts. Yeah. So let me read you a little bit about this piece. Laocoon and his sons. The statue of Laocoon and his sons, also called Laocoon Group, that's how I learned it, has been one of the most famous ancient sculptures ever since it was excavated in Rome in 1506 and placed on public display in the Vatican, where it remains. I saw it there. It is very likely the same statue praised in the highest terms by the Roman writer Pliny the Elder. The figures are near life-size, and the group is a little over 6 feet in height, showing the Trojan priest Laocoon and his sons being attacked by sea serpents. The group has been called the prototypical icon of human agony in Western art, and unlike the agony often depicted in Christian art showing the passion of Jesus and martyrs, this suffering has no redemptive power or reward. So interesting that it so spoke to me. The suffering is shown through the contorted expression of the faces. Charles Darwin pointed out that Laocoon's bulging eyes are almost physiologically impossible, which are matched by the struggling bodies, especially that of Laocoon himself, with every part of his body straining. Pliny attributes to the work, then in the palace of Emperor Titus, to 3 Greek sculptures from the island of Rhodes and a few others, but does not give a date or patron. In style, it is considered one of the finest examples of the Hellenistic Baroque, and certainly in the Greek tradition. And one of the Hellenistic Baroque the Hellenistic period really called to me, because we see it again happening later in the Renaissance, after the Renaissance, in the Baroque period. We see this kind of coming back to emotion and capturing of a moment and a narrative in sculpture, in painting. And again, this is early, and it's a capturing of a narrative, or a capturing of a moment that becomes a narrative for us. But it is not known whether it is an original copy or a work of an earlier sculpture, probably in bronze, or made for a Greek or Roman commission. Although mostly in excellent condition, there were several pieces missing, and it's kind of gone about. It's been restored throughout the years. So I really love this piece, and I love the way artists continue to work with this. Christine says, "Oh wow, is this so far? Oh, good. I have been making art for months, busy with healing, psychedelic therapy." Oh, that's great. Making money. Yes. My soul has been sad, not denying that I am a painter. I understand, Christine. I understand. But making money is also a very good thing, because when we're not making money, other parts of us are really sad too, right? So it's necessary. Jacob says, notice the contrast of the sons. The baby is helpless. The older one looks like he wants to fight. Oh, very good, Jacob. And prove his worth, but quickly overcome. The father is obviously a superhero, and you bring up a great point. These Roman and these Greek and Roman sculptures of the day were all about that. We're all about these kind of men and becoming gods and this superhero. Certainly the early Greek sculptures, Kouros. Who is the ideal male? What is the ideal male? So very good on that. So from there, from KiP's serpent, and where is KiP this morning? KiP, I hope you're going to join us. I further loved, can you guys find the Laocoon group within Poussin's abduction of the Sabine women? I've always known it as the rape of the Sabine women, but I guess it's kind of the same thing. If they're being abducted, chances are they're being raped. Can anybody tell me where you see Poussin appropriating the Laocoon group in this painting? Because again, this notion of how painters and artists communicate through the centuries, through cultures, just the way KiP did a few days ago with this just little painting. Christine says, I see both young men seeing the elder as their model. Nice, Christine. Hey, Chris Arnold, how are you? Are you back at school? Yeah, great to see you. Hope you have a great year with your students. Charles says, I see it as a struggle for liberation from the hassles of the world. Yeah. Clyde, the middle figure. Yeah, exactly. So if that in the lower right corner, there's this figure. Are you saying in the upper? In the lower right corner. Yeah, Chris, it's great to see you here. If you look at the lower right corner, there's a man grabbing the waist of another figure, and the man has a pink frock material on. There's a woman in blue under his leg and a baby. The figure has a sword in his hand, but the figure almost looks sculptural, right? His body is a different color. It's a yellowish. It's almost as if it's a sculpture. So Poussin references back to the Hellenistic period using Laocoon group. Yes, good, Clyde. Yeah, of course you know that. And this is the Baroque period, right? In the 16th, 17th century, we have the Baroque period happening. And again, it's this notion of this capturing of the moment and this narrative. We kind of released from the Renaissance, which was this Greek revival, right? And this beautiful kind of, a lot of religious iconography, a very, what's the word I want to use? Balanced, classic, right? Hi, Daniela. And now we have this, action and emotion hearkening back to the Hellenistic period. And he uses Laocoon. And I just love that. And, the serpents in Laocoon are really magnificent. And he is using kind of the arms of these people as the serpents. I also love this piece because of the movement. Poussin with those swords. He brings you up to our center figure here. and then the arms bring you over on diagonals. It's just a phenomenal piece. So continuing, so let me just go back to that 1 second so you can see that. See the snakes here? In the original Laocoon, the snakes are kind of connecting the figures. But in Poussin's, these arms become kind of those serpents. So let's look at this one. So KiP's picture just sent me into a whole different area. All these different areas. I wanted to look at all different areas of art history. So we're still in the late 15th, early 16th century with the infant Hercules strangling 2 serpents. Now look at this baby. The baby Hercules has enough power to strangle 2 serpents, which is really in and of itself. And it's this beautiful little relief that I like. Yeah, great. Yeah, action. Yeah. A lot of action in that piece. So, and in this piece too, even though it's a bas-relief, this baby, Hercules, you can see there's movement, he's walking, and he's working at the same time, right? So I loved that. And I loved kind of the way the serpents, all of that circuitous and kind of Carolingian, early medieval circular stuff was happening. Love that. All right, so then it brought me to this bronze helmet of Corinthian. So it's Greek, it's 600 BC. Look at above the eyes. Look at those serpents above the eyes, the open mouth, if you could see that, kind of going in towards each other. Yeah, a lot of fun. So all from 2 days ago, good morning, Mark. All from 2 days ago, when I mentioned just, some of the situation that I had going over the summer and how it's important that everybody, artists especially, keep working, keep doing their work. KiP took this photo. She said she was inspired by the show. Thank you. And now that has inspired me to get back to my own curation. That's what art can do. Could the snakes be the devil? Could this be about the serpent from the garden, Adam and Eve stuff? That's interesting, Charles. Not on this one, because this is really early. This is 600 BC. But yeah, I guess on others, I guess definitely in more of the Renaissance and not Romanesque, I'm sorry, Baroque. Because at that point we're in Christianity. So I want to show you this one. I thought was really interesting because I could really take this, and I really wanted to go beyond then sculpture and painting. And so here we see the Masonic armchair. It's American, 1775. The seat and legs of this example are typical of the best Boston Rococo chairs. So Rococo, for those of you, I'm just going to repeat it for everybody because I repeat it for myself. Rococo is a period after the Baroque. So when we think of Rococo, we think of all out. Think of Versailles. That helps. Just all out gilded, movement, but fancy and a lot of details and just as much as you can pile onto it all. Yeah. Hey, Chris. Good morning. Yeah. Oh, good, Jacob. I'm glad. So, but the back is unusual. It is made up of Masonic symbols, fluted columns referring to King Solomon's temple, a rusticated arch, the Arch of Heaven, a compass and square, faith and reason, a mason's level, equality, and a serpent swallowing its tail, rebirth. Exactly what you said, Christine. And a trowel, cement of brotherly love. The chair was probably made for the senior warden of an as yet unidentified Massachusetts lodge. So again, we see that use of that serpent in here. I love this. And although it is Rococo, I think because it's Masonic, it does have much more of that kind of balance to it, and that sense of the faith and reason. Yeah, you can really see that there. The legs and arms are snake-like and envelop the sitter. Ooh, they do, Clyde. Kind of put you in there safely. Very nice. So then I couldn't let this go until we saw a Chippendale. Love the Chippendale. The high chest of drawers. I had a really phenomenal American art professor. He ended up writing the encyclopedia point of material culture in American art. He was phenomenal, and we spent a very long time studying so much material culture, furniture and such. It was phenomenal. And he used to say, I can teach you the history of the world from a spoon. And he was right. So the high chest of drawers is 1762, so we're talking about the beginning of the United States. European artists flocked to the British colonies and plied their knowledge of foreign fashions to suit the tastes of local patrons. This chest's scrolled pediment with a figural finial bust resembles plates in the Gentleman and the Cabinet Maker's Directory by British craftsman Thomas Chippendale. And we know it's a Chippendale from the ball and claw foot and that top finial part, right? Similarly, the serpent and swan motif on the bottom drawer is based on a design by London carver Thomas Johnson in a new book of ornaments. As true of period portraiture, furnishings reveal colonists' awareness of European trends. The owner of this chest would have neatly stowed their couture and household linens safely in its drawers. So again, using that serpent, the serpent and the swan in this. Yeah, no, I wish it were in my living room. Jacob, it is not, but thank you. Hey, Mark. Hey, Brendan, how are you? Good to see you. So, it's interesting because this period of American history, we are figuring out who are we as Americans, right? We're about to enter, not really apply for our freedom, but fight for our freedom, and then figure out who we are as a culture. What is American? What is purely American, as opposed to being colonists, and most of our culture is from Britain or France or other countries. And so at this point, immigrants, which we all are really creating this cross-cultural dialogue, which continues today. Absolutely. I love the Chippendale. The Chippendale is really wonderful. Oh, I forgot to put KiP's picture on this. So, all from one artist going out. Maybe she was having a really tough day. Maybe we're all having really tough days. Maybe she was having a great day. Maybe she was or wasn't doing art that day or thinking about creating art. But from that, thinking about artists, go out and do your work. All artists, actor, everybody, do your work. Do your work. If it's a monologue that you have to work on it. Don't worry about who your audience is. Do your work. Work for yourself. And she posted this, and I thank her so much because it got me back to curating on stART. So everyone, it's Friday, first weekend of September. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I have a busy one. I will see you all on Monday morning, and I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll go back to Van Gogh Mondays, thinking about that. And in the meantime, take a moment this weekend, try to look at some art. Try to, if you're an artist, do some art. If you're a writer, write. If you're an actor, act. Whatever it is that you do, a musician, play, whatever it is, connect to that, okay? And I will see you here on Monday at 9. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend, everybody. And thank you, KiP Walker. Bye-bye.